To discuss it, Democratic strategist David Carlucci and Fox News contributor David Webb. So, Mr. Carlucci, are you happy with that ad? Is that playing into the criticism? Does that work?
Yeah, I think leaning into his age is important. Why? Because those of us that support him know that he's pushing what he believes is important. And all of us, whether we agree with him or not, have to respect the fact that the man has been around the block and knows his way around Washington, D.C. He's been successful with the CHIPS Act, the ARPA Act, the PAC Act, etc. So whether you agree with him or not, you have to respect the fact that he knows his way around Washington, D.C. And leaning into that experience as vice president, decades in the Senate, really proves fruitful to all of us that want to see results in Washington.
Yeah,
so I think, hey, it's two 80-year-olds running. It makes sense to lean into the age.
177, one's 81. About African-American support. For the longest time, it's been firmly in the Democratic camp. And you could say it remains there. But if you look back, let's say, on a series of polls, it looks like not only is Donald Trump getting into double figures, in some polls, he's in 20%. When asked about this, Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader, answered this way.
Well, the polling has been all over the place, but I'm confident that at the end of the day, in November, the overwhelming majority of African Americans, Caribbean Americans, black voters throughout the country will support President Biden.
David Carlucci, are you as optimistic as Hakeem?
Yeah, I am, because when you look closely at these polling numbers, the big number I'm looking at is that over 40% of the electorate is not really engaged. They're not following our conversations right now, either on the left or the right or the middle. And so as we move closer to the general election, as more people get engaged in the conversation, they're going to see the contrast. They're going to come home to the Democratic Party because they understand that that's what is important to them and their communities. And I think you'll see that across the board. It doesn't matter the demographic. The lack of enthusiasm is huge. And as we get closer, you're going to see that gap narrow, and people are going to come home and make sure that their voice is counted, and they count that vote for Joe Biden.